Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Scouting Games with D-Shot, Divisional Round edition. As we kind of recap this last week of football, I went 5-1 in the picks, and Scout went 4-2 in the picks. We're gonna keep the track of this in the playoffs to see who comes out the champ, and maybe the loser the loser has to buy the winner or something. I don't know. Maybe we can make that wager or something.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. We didn't really. I didn't
So
keep track during the regular season, and now I'm going to start keeping track.
He says that as he's in the lead.
By a game.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe we'll have a little fun discussion. We haven't really talked sports movies yet. So I guess we'll talk about like favorite sports movies maybe at the end, once we kind of recap and make our picks.
Yeah, you gotta put categories into that though, but
all right, so because one of the things I would have to say about my football weekend was kind of on Sunday there were a lot of good football movies on. And it was my first time actually watching Draft Day.
Oh, that's a great movie.
And I was flipping between, I think the 49ers were up kind of big early on the Cowboys, and was the game before the Chiefs, not the Chiefs game, the Eagles and Buccaneers game.
That game was.
Right during, I was like looking on the TV guide, and I was like, "Oh, Draft Day is on. I haven't seen that. I might as well put that on."
That movie is really good. The only thing is, I'm surprised they didn't use the Lions instead.
It wasn't, and some of it was not as like I was like, you could tell that Vontae Mack was going to be the one picked first overall in that movie.
Don't ruin it for people if they haven't seen it.
I know that, but still, you could tell that from that movie because it's kind of at some point. So it's kind of cool, and then the whole like drafting of, I'm going to trade my pick to get my old picks back.
Yeah, well, don't ruin it for people. You're spoiler.
So we'll talk about some movies, kind of what goes maybe favorite football movies and baseball movies and whatnot. But I guess kind of Scout, your kind of reactions from the Super Wildcard Weekend.
So, most of the games I missed, because I was in Ann Arbor. I went to both 2 hockey games. That, one was at 5. One started at 5. So here 5:30, and the other one started at 5. So 6:30 there. So I missed a lot of the games. The Eagles, I found, or not the Eagles. What was it? Yeah, I found that the Eagles. No, it wasn't that. It was what was the game like in the middle of the day? Oh yeah, I found the Raiders lost in the first period of the hockey game I was at. One of my friends texted me, "Raiders lost." I'm like, oh.
Apparently there was a officiating
that was absolute garbage.
I guess wasn't it an inadvertent whistle or something that kind of happened?
I mean, I saw it after.
I was kind of at alumni.
After I get back from the hockey game, I saw it. Replay of it. It was Burrows snapping the ball, was running out of bounds.
Yeah, it looked like he was going out of bounds.
It wasn't that he was out of bounds. Or I don't know, but it was.
Maybe they thought he was out of bounds.
Maybe they thought he was. I don't know. The whistle blew as the ball was in midair. Like he was like rolling. I think he was rolling right, and so like if you're looking at a screen, he's looking at rolling to the bottom, and he's like almost out of bounds, chucks it to a guy wide open in the end zone, and the guy's wide open because the whistle had blown like mid throw.
Mm-hmm.
like midway through the air. So like a lot of the Raiders players are like, oh, the play's done. And like you can say, oh, you play until you hear a whistle. They did play until they heard a whistle.
Yeah.
And then they heard a whistle and they're like, oh, the play's over. And
At least on the other side, on one side of it, it's like at least it's not like something, oh, we're gonna make this rule change because
no, I'm just saying
like you know what I'm saying with that
Lions, it would be exactly that.
Yeah, but I'm also saying kind of bringing up that one college football play where the quarterback kind of faked a slide and then scored.
That's no longer legal.
Which you wonder if that's going to be at all changed at the NFL level as well.
I doubt that there'll even be a consideration, because if it happens in college and you look at a dick doing it in college, I say I'm looking at a dick of like, it's a unstoppable play.
Yeah.
Like you're invincible if you do a fake slide because you can't hit him because of all the targeting stuff.
Yeah.
And then if you don't hit him, then he scores. And so in the NFL, I assume like you just look like a fool if you even try that. You wouldn't think about trying it. But they blew the whistle. They went to the rules expert, which is like, I say in air quotes because they're not. Like they're always
just
wrong.
Former refs.
Yeah, the former refs. Like, here, let's go to.
We're gonna go to Terry McCully. We're gonna go to Terry McCully and Gene Steratore.
Gene Steratore, who also serves as a college basketball ref. Part-time. It's kind of funny. It'll be like in our game or rest of the game is Gene Steratore just from the NFL. But
I was actually I watched Bengals Raiders
hold on,
at 8:41.
Let me finish here.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
They went to the rules official and they're like, yeah, they should just replay the down, which is what they should have done. Like in any other sport, like hockey, is an inadvertent whistle, just have the face off at wherever the nearest face off dot. Basketball just have like a inbound,
side court.
Yeah, side court.
Baseline.
Baseball, I mean, baseball's kind of, there's no whistle, so baseball's just like shit happens.
Yeah, fan runs on the field.
Yeah, but I mean, this is like, and it's, I want to say it cost the Raiders the game because the Raiders had multiple chances to score at the end of the game, down by 7. But it's like, that's a weird thing of where like, you don't know how mentally that changed the game. I don't even know what down it was. If it was 3rd down and they said replay the down and they got an incomplete pass and they're kicking a field goal. But it's like a kind of what if scenario. Moving that Cowboys game, which I didn't see either, but I laughed my ass off. Why the hell did Kellen Moore decide to do a quarterback power up the middle with no timeouts left?
I mean, also they were kind of the 49ers were not really giving the sideline.
Yeah, it's like they're playing the middle of the
besides
field.
The 2 plays prior. I mean, they were able to get out of bounds.
Yeah, you're playing the middle of the field, which is like perfect. Just throw it to the side.
And then get to the line and spike it, but apparently the ref has to touch the ball.
Well,
that kind of screwed the game over.
And then the referee like bulldozed him. He was like, "Hey, I gotta touch it first."
Yeah, and then it goes down. Which
is like, when I say a Lions way to lose, that is a Lions way to lose. I'm surprised that hasn't happened to the Lions already. But it's like, that's the thing that always makes me nervous at the end of the game is like you do some stupid play and you can't get to the line because the referee has to, or like when the clock's running and one of the defensive players is like smothering you. It's like, oh, hold on, let me slowly get up. It's like at that point, like if he's deliberately trying to not get up,
Mhm.
you need to stop the clock.
Yeah.
Because then he's like, or like goes, oh, sorry, I tripped again, and like runs into the referee, like, or the referee trips and falls. Like, what happens if the referee tripped and like if there's
Isn't like there a rule in college football that's kind of like I, that they like if there's a first down made that they stop the clock?
yeah. In college, it's they stop the
In
clock.
NFL, they're like they don't obviously.
In the NFL, they do not stop the clock. They don't
Which
stop. They don't stop the clock. I think under 2 minutes or something. College, they stop it to reset the chains, and as soon as the chains are set, then they run the clock.
yeah, which makes sense.
Which it gives enough time if you're hustling to the line that you should get like if the clock.
But shouldn't that be kind of a similar thing in the NFL? That they could maybe do the same thing and like, oh, if it's a first down and being able to reset the chains, or just people who are trying to move the chains just that much quicker at the NFL level than they are at the college level. I don't know if that's kind of a valid argument.
It's not really resetting the chain. It's more of college. It's I don't want to say it's developmental, but it kind of is. Of it's just different rules.
Yeah.
It's like in the NFL, you need 2 feet, and NCAA, you need 1.
Yeah.
And it's also just skill wise. There's players in the NFL can catch the ball 2 feet in bounds and fall out of bounds. College, you could do all these circus ass catches at like 1 foot out of bounds. Opens up the skill set. But I don't know. I think the Lions got screwed. I know this because I think the Lions got screwed over this way, but
probably.
I'm pretty sure you need 2 seconds on the clock to spike the ball.
Yeah, because then there's at least time for 1 snap.
So even if the referee got the ball, there still wouldn't have been enough time.
You're saying there still wouldn't have been enough time to be able to do that?
No, okay. Because by the time the guy got like, okay, you give the ball to the referee runs up and they spike it maybe with 2 seconds. Maybe it's just 2 seconds. But you need 2 seconds, and I'm pretty sure it's either it wasn't the Lions. It was like in NCAA there's a Florida State was playing like Notre Dame. It was it was it was Florida State was playing Miami, and Miami went to spike the ball, but there was 1 second left, and like by rule there needs to be 2 seconds on the clock. The game is over. And it was like such a shitty way to lose. Like you can't do that.
It's like 2 second runoff because we don't have time to do anything.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a 2 second. It's just the rule, isn't it? Yeah. 2 seconds. I don't know if that's in the NFL. It would make sense if it was. Patriots absolutely just got demolished.
Yeah, I
wanted 50 points on that.
I was in Whitewater, kind of Women's Alumni Day.
Ew.
Saying hi to people, and an assistant coach that doesn't really like me. It's like trying to kick me out, which she has her issue with me. That's stupid. Mad at me for dumb reasons that I'm like, really? Like, who cares if I say, oh, I'm better at this than you, and you're gonna take such an issue with it and be mad at me for 5 years about it.
Get into that vendetta.
But There was a discussion with Carrie Corallo about getting her on here and talking about her team, but we'll see when that lies. And I kind of just want to be like, win a national championship, and I'll talk to you.
I try to beat around this right now. What was your original comment about?
What?
Okay, moving on.
Anyways, but I saw Raiders and Raiders and Bengals at 8:41 a little bit, and I think I left 8:41 after the really awesome Dawson Knox touchdown.
Yeah.
If I got his name right. And then I was just like,
I
want to go home. And then I got back home and it was 27-0. It was like, yeah, I'm gonna either fall asleep or.
That game was also. I was at the hockey game and I looked at halftime.
The surprise is we had some pretty like blowout games. You saw, Tampa Bay beat the smack out of Philly. Buffalo beating the smack out of New England, which is kind of you thought it was going to be the same way as the first cold game during the season. But and then the other one being Monday Night Football. What happened to the Arizona Cardinals?
Oh my God.
After the Packers beat them, thanks to Rasul Douglas's pick to seal it.
I think it's like that
they just fell off the cliff after that. They were 7-0 and went 4-7.
Yeah.
Something they went or whatever it was. It's 17 weeks. So yeah, would be like 11-6.
What was that? How was that interception he threw where he's like getting tackled and he's just like, I better throw. I think it's tackle, it's a safety.
And honestly, there are some of those blowouts. You're like, oh, this is a blowout. I'm gonna flip it to something else.
Play though, it's like you got tackle as a safety, and he just tries to throw the ball to one of his receivers. And David Long, Michigan alum.
Hail to the victors.
Michigan alum. Look at that. Or
dude, just
or this.
You're just grabbing everything, every Michigan thing. Oh, speaking of Michigan alums,
David Long with a pick six.
Tom Brady.
Oh, hold on. Let me get my Jim Harbaugh bobblehead and my Jawan Howard bobblehead as well.
You just grab every Michigan thing around.
Yeah. Oh, wait a second.
Here's a bobblehead. Here's a bobblehead of the Fab Five.
Yeah.
Here's me somehow with Dr. William D. Ravelli.
Yeah. Ravelli's passed away, but I mean,
great conductor, a little bit strict.
Yeah.
From what I've heard. Wow, we sound like band nerds in a football podcast.
Right.
But I bet you found that kind of video I sent you of Dr. William D. Ravelli.
Yeah, I saw that.
Conducting the Michigan football team in the fight song and teaching them how to do it. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, the guy I stayed with in Ann Arbor, he's in the marching band, and so he knows all that. And
the legacy. He
actually is a legacy of Michigan though.
Yeah. And it's like I have a recording of Sousa marches by the University of Michigan band. That's a fairly good recording. I mean, I think I kind of pushed myself towards performance practice of Sousa and how Sousa did things, but not saying that some of those recordings aren't. Anyway,
I have a little bit of once we're done with our picks, I'll talk about what nonsense happened in Ann Arbor. And regarding the president of Michigan, and how do you know what Redbubble is?
No.
It's basically like you make designs, and there's an ad for Redbubble. Sponsor me. But It's basically
Listener support.
you click the link below. But
If I can figure out how to do that, I'd have to put like, click the link below or whatever.
Yeah,
I'd have to do a crap ton in post production or hire somebody to do post production.
We'll get it in post.
Even though I can't, even though I probably know how to do that stuff anyways, I just need to figure out how to use Final Cut or Adobe Premiere.
But this Redbubble is basically like make a design, and then as long as it's like your own design, and you put it on like objects, so you can make like a pillow with like your face on it.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone likes your face and wants it on a pillow,
so should we do this? Should we do this for John Goltz?
I don't know. You want a Goltz pillow, and you put the Goltz pillow, and just a Goltz pillow
going like this with the sunglasses.
Yeah, with the sunglasses. Like you want a Goltz pillow like this, and you
or a pillow which just says a pillow for D-Shot that just says podcast on D-Shot or says
but you price the pillow at $40. It's a 20% kickback, so you get $8.
The royal purple.
Yeah, so you get $8. And so I'll explain what my
have that be with every grabbing of a royal purple newspaper in Whitewater. You get this free pillow.
I'll just explain it now since we're already on it. The president of University of Michigan, Mark Schlissel, who no one really likes because he runs Michigan like they're a 1870s Harvard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, athletics are not our thing. We're all academic. So he was exposed. There's about a year-long relationship with a subordinate that this dumbass decided to use his UMich email, his University of Michigan email.
So is this like subordinate, like he flirted with somebody?
Yes.
Okay.
Like bought her things, took her places, and
who is he? John Gruden?
Him or her? I don't. It's an individual one.
Who is this? John Gruden? That seems like John Gruden would do that.
But so one of those emails says his last email said lonely, M, like M was Mark. And so my friend, the guy said Joey, name drop there. One of his roommates made a pillow that says lonely, M, and that's everywhere on Michigan's campus. It's hilarious. There's so much money made, and there's already
within
an hour of this breaking news. There's already a BuzzFeed quiz of which Schlissel email are you? And it's like, where do you go to eat? Pizza House is that answer. Where do you take your significant other? Pizza House. And so it's like where do you spend your day? In a COVID briefing at a sporting event. Pizza House. It's like, I think you do that with.
That's like if that happened at Whitewater. Where do you take your significant other? 841.
You could have done that with Pete Hill. You could have done that with Pete Hill.
Oh my God.
You could have done
Brew House.
But the thing is,
Brass Rail. Poppers and Mitchells.
The underneath the cart girls. But this guy decided.
Who are you more likely to spend your time ogling? The cheer squad, the dance team?
Yeah, so this guy decided
the gymnastics team.
He used his Michigan email, which is subject to so actually a year ago in a meeting with all these Big Ten officials, all the other Big Ten presidents, asked, if I delete emails, are they still subject to FOIA, to Freedom of Information Act? Yes. It's like Whitewater. I could Freedom of Information Act anybody's.
It's like what is it? Do you remember the Craig Smith thing?
Yeah.
Where Craig Smith kind of sent the Whitewater defensive strategies to two schools. It's kind of like that thing. It gets unearthed during an open records request because of a reporter.
Yeah, because it's a public university, they have to oblige by it.
Yeah, but his was like, oh, it's a
in
Gmail.
the BuzzFeed quiz, the end is like a receipt to Pizza House because it's a Freedom of Information Act, and so they requested all of his emails. So they have to provide, here's the email or the receipt to Pizza House, or here's the email with like the receipt to the scarf I bought. And I want to get
it didn't get to the point where
I want to get political, but the guy like did not learn from the Hillary's email thing of like you don't delete email.
It's not like he didn't go and like buy lingerie for this girl.
I don't know, but I mean, so the board of regents fired him. Now the thing is, they
banned him from campus. Did they ban him from campus? Did they go Pete Hill and ban him from campus?
No. I don't think he wants to go back on Michigan's campus because everyone hates him.
Oh.
But it's
I'm trying to think. Was Beverly Copper still at Whitewater?
I think she retired. She was like, I think she said that she's gonna be like a professor.
Yeah.
But I think like that then in the fall she's like, that doesn't really look good optically. No. But the thing is with Schlissel already announced earlier in the fall that that he was stepping down as the president of Michigan in like 2024. And so he's like basically doing like a 2 victory laps. So the board's like, yep, nope, you're done. And so they brought back Mary Sue Coleman, who's the president before Schlissel. So it's like, who's the guy before Copper? I mean, because you were there.
Oh man, Dick Telfer.
Yeah, it's like if Telfer, like,
or it's like the one time where Amy Edmonds had to resign or something, whatever it was.
Yeah, or I don't know.
That, and they ended up being Randy Marnaka as the interim athletic director, or
but
Ryan Callahan.
What I'm saying is like it's like if Telfer retires, and then they had Copper, and then Copper gets in all her stuff, and then they're like, oh, let's bring back Telfer as an interim,
which would have made sense.
And
I forget who was the interim.
It was this girl. It was this woman from Oshkosh that was not really that. I mean, I learned from being the Royal Purple. She had some things that she did in Oshkosh that weren't really that great in terms of equality.
Whitewater does not have a great history of having chancellors or interim chancellors that have great track records or whatever.
Since 1970, I don't think we really. I mean, maybe.
Well, I'm saying since Telfer, because you have Copper, then you have that girl, then you have.
Well, I really like Dwight. I mean,
Dwight Watson, but then there's that whole thing
Dwight
that got on our thing.
I mean, I really like Dwight dealt with that like kind of crazy like thing with the guy who he like took under his wing when he was at Northern Iowa.
Okay.
Like that guy, but that eventually was not true. But I mean, other than that, like I really liked Dwight.
He was cool, but he would be
unfortunately he was diagnosed with cancer, had to step down. He's still a professor there. I mean, I hope he's doing well in remission, or he's in remission.
It was cool. Like he was cool as a chancellor because like he would sit in the student section. Like
I don't know that's like my dad. I don't want to digress too much. My dad was at Michigan. There's the president is Shapiro. I don't know his first name was, but it's Shapiro. He now has a library named after him on campus, the Shapiro Research Library or Undergrad Research Library. And my dad's like, when I was at Michigan, like if I saw Shapiro and I said hi to him, he would be like, "What did I just step on? Like, what is this like mortal talking to me? I'm a god." But like Dwight and like, "Oh hi Dwight," he's like, "Oh hi," and he like spark out a conversation.
yeah.
And like, but anyway, I want to get back to the football picks.
Let's get to it.
Yeah.
Divisional round, the first game of the divisional.
Hold on. I gotta do like a little victory dance. The Cowboys lost. Okay, come on, let's go.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Like,
Okay. First game of our special divisional. It's like I'm surprised they're not like saying division. Oh, it's the super divisional round.
Yeah, like it's the mega divisional round, or like
it's like can the NFL just put the word super in front of everything and be like?
Well, it's because there's more games, but it's like
Yeah.
okay, like you're gonna trademark the word super too.
I don't know. All right, first game of the divisional round, Bengals and Titans. I am going to take the Titans here, even though I kind of feel like this will be a closer game with kind of might be. It's two receivers. Well, not so much. I mean, Julio Jones is not as dominant as he used to be, but Derrick Henry's coming back, so there's that. But I don't know. I feel like taking the experience here with the Titans, but I wouldn't be surprised. This is a really close game.
That's the thing is Henry's coming back. I assume he's been tuned up at this point.
Yeah, probably.
Like, even if you're like you're designated to come off IR, you have 4 months, not 4 weeks to like be activated. So like he's been in practice.
He's probably been kind of like warming up a little bit.
Yeah, but how warmed up he will be if he's gonna be 100%. Let's use him like we usually do, like the 60% run they do or whatever it is. But the thing that worries me is like, not worries me. It's like
Jamar Chase. Is that kind of a thing that he's tough to cover?
No, I
feel like that's going to be key.
Cincinnati's offense is rolling.
Yeah,
and the thing that worries me a bit is sometimes the Titans lay an egg. And are like, oh, we're the team who lost the Texans, or almost lost the Texans twice. And I mean the second game was a little bit more of a shootout, but I think wasn't it?
I don't know. Maybe I'm second guessing this.
But
maybe I'm gonna change my pick because. Yeah, I'll go Bengals.
I don't want to make you change your pick. I'm just saying, like, what my viewpoint of it is the Bengals defense is pretty good too, and
so they're probably more the complete team.
I want to say complete team. There's just like you have the teams that are right in hot, and like they call. I want to say there's a Cinderella.
Yeah.
But it's like they're running in hot. Now we got a hot quarterback, who has confidence. I don't know.
Yeah, that probably makes more of a bigger point to pick the Bengals because Ryan Tannehill. Yeah, he's a veteran, but yeah.
They're not as much of a question mark like the Cardinals were, where the Cardinals were either you're the team that lost to the Lions and got spanked by the Detroit Lions,
Yeah.
or the team that beat the living shit out of the Cowboys. Like there's like a 0 to 100 differential. There's no in between. It's not like that. The Titans, it's like they could be the team that played the Dolphins, or they could be the team that who lost to the Texans.
Yeah. So
and
I'm guessing
yeah.
So
I'm gonna take the Bengals.
Okay.
Bengals
Me with my homerism probably for the next hopefully 3 games. 49ers and Packers. Aaron Rodgers is 0-3 against the team that against his hometown team. Team that he says, oh, they'll regret not drafting me in 2005, right? When they picked Alex Smith.
To be honest, like I want to rip on
Packers seem to be getting healthy at the right time. I mean, Jair Alexander's coming back. Zadarius Smith is back. Whitney Merciless is back.
So the one thing you should worry about is the one thing you should worry about is Kyle Shanahan loves his run, which is what you've dealt with every year you play those 49ers.
Raheem Mostert.
It's Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah, and Debo. And
Debo's fast. But it's
but to me,
the Packers' run defense it's better than it used to be. But like I think Mina Kimes of ESPN even said like they're like 28th in the NFL in run defense, according to some like power index or whatever it is. But I don't know how you calculate it, but it's like they're better than they used to be. But still, it's like if they can't stop the run, they're just gonna run the ball. It also opens up the pass. And you got George Kittle running around. And also
account for that whole thing too.
Yeah, and then when you run the ball, you keep the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands. As much as Aaron Rodgers can score really quickly.
Yeah, hopefully.
I mean, that's the whole thing. Is like, okay, if they keep the ball along a lot, you just gotta throw deep routes to Adams or
MVS or Allen Lazard or a healthy Randall Cobb or
it's more of a Randall Cobb every blue moon, but
Randall Cobb old,
I'm saying he's old, so
he's old, but not the old.
Yeah, I mean he's old, but he's
not the 108 yard kickoff return that he took in his first game against.
I'll say Randall Cobb gets maybe two catches.
Probably.
Maybe like he's gonna get targeted maybe at most 3 times.
Yeah, Juwan Winfrey will probably get the ball more than Randall Cobb.
But it's it'll be a really good matchup. And
I'll be watching it from Whitewater.
Yeah.
Because I'll be at Alumni Day on the men's side, doing a podcast on the 2012 national champions. The men's basketball team is Chris Davis is going to be there. Cordell Young is going to be there. Cody Odegaard, AJ Bokini. I'm going to use some previous audio from Pat Miller. Maybe ask him one other thing. Gary Douglas. For some people that will be surprising. A guy I used to work for. He's the former play-by-play voice for UW Whitewater football, basketball, and baseball. He's agreed to talk about that team as well. It's the 10-year anniversary since an 18-point comeback against Cabrini. So look out for that. Nice little plug there. But I'll be in Whitewater watching that game once all the Alumni Day festivities are done. Anyways, Scout, I guess what's your pick? And anything you kind of want to add?
I'm gonna pick the Packers. It's gonna be a close one though.
I agree.
It's not gonna be
33. We should do like. We should do. I thought about this before. We should pick the score.
mm,
I don't know, and whoever's closest gets an extra win each time.
okay, so you have to go back in the games then.
Yeah. No, just for this week. We'll just add that to what we're doing. I don't know. That's an idea. So like, Bengals. I'll let the floor. Bengals Titans. You know, what do you think is a realistic score? And I'll kind of think of something.
Let me think here.
Bengals 27, Titans 21. Is that realistic? Win it by possession.
I'll say Bengals 24, Titans 21. Unless that's what you literally just said.
I said 27-21. So like who's ever closest to the actual. Not like it will matter, but still whoever kind of gets more closer to what gets scored. Packer game. I don't think it's gonna be 11. I don't think it's gonna be 10. 31-24. Green Bay.
I'm gonna say 28-21.
Okay.
I'm looking at the line right now just to kind of help me here.
I guess so. You're more of a betting man than I am.
Not at all.
Well, I mean, I get that, but
it has Green Bay's favored by 6.
Okay.
And the over/under is 47.
So not like explain over and under. Does that mean like over 47 points?
Combined points. So like
can't be something that doesn't equal 47.
So right now the over. So if it's if both teams combine for it's a 2020 like somehow in their regular season if it was a 24 like a scoregami 24-23 which I don't think can happen.
Okay.
But I just say
it could be like the first matchup against those two teams where it was the 49ers left too much. Well, anytime is too much time for Aaron Rodgers.
So what I'm saying is
30-28.
If it's a 28-21 win, that's
a 1 point.
Yeah, that's over the 47.
I mean, people win money or what's
if you bet the over, and so you bet $100 saying they're going to score over 100, they're going to score over 47 points. You win that because you won 100.
So you win $100 just off of
that.
Yeah,
but if it's a 17-14 game, you lose $100 because you bet under. I mean, it's easier than the.
I would probably be like, I'll bet 50. I'll bet like $40.
With a 47 over under, that's a pretty like close game.
Yeah.
I mean, if you kind of even it out, it could be like, oh, it's actually somehow a 42-5 game. Like it could be 42-5 game, a safety and a field goal. Or it could be
or two safeties and somehow a no, I don't know. Two safeties and a 1 point safety.
What I'm saying is like
that's
supposed to be a moderate scoring game. It's not to be high scoring, not low scoring, it's just kind of in the middle.
Okay.
So I'm gonna still take the Packers, the score I said was 28-21.
Yep. All right. Sunday's first game is Matthew Stafford against Tom Brady. Rams and Bucks. What's the over under here?
48.5.
48.5.
So I mean, with halves, it's like if it's 48 exactly, you bet the over, you lose. If it's 49, there can't be a half.
31-27.
So when it's the thing is, if the Packer game it lands at exactly 47, it's a wash. Like you win, you don't lose. You get your money back.
I mean, this could be a game where, it ends up, it's a good matchup of good quarterback. I could see it going 35-31, but I could also see it. I would rather lie maybe a little bit shorter off than that and say like 31-27. And just say it's somewhere.
I'm gonna go with these betting odds and say it's gonna be a.
I'm going Tampa. I'm going Brady.
I'm going Tampa, and I'm saying it's a 27-24 game.
Okay.
Field goal. That or it's going to be a wide open game if both, because like it could be a wide open. It could be a really high scoring game because they play the Cardinals. The Cardinals look like dog shit. But
and Philly looked not too great either. So you really don't know.
The Eagles didn't either. And Eagles play like a team that's like
and people were like, why is Tom Brady still in the game? It's because Tom Brady never leaves games.
Well, he did.
He did, but like
the last game, let's see what they put in like Bortles or something, or who they have.
Blaine Gabbert.
Same thing. It's the guy will never.
They're the same thing. They're the same backup Jacksonville quarterback. Oh, we're just gonna put in Byron, our own future
Byron Leftwich,
Jaguars coach Byron Leftwich, and just
he could be going the Bears. I don't know.
Or David Garrard.
Bears could.
I don't know what happened to David Garrard, but
anyway. So I'm gonna say it's a 27-24. The spread is Tampa by 3.
And I'm gonna add to this as a prediction with the NFC Championship game. We're gonna get 2 quarterbacks that one's gonna be playing their last game and one's gonna be playing for the chance for their last. Either their next game's gonna be the Super Bowl is gonna be their last game.
I don't Brady because Brady has like 3 more years.
Brady
says he's gonna play until he's.
I think there was some executive that was saying if Brady wins another one, like that he might retire. So I'm saying like.
I mean, he might. It's like.
You never know. But
this last year.
I don't know. I don't think it would be his last year. I don't know.
I'm thinking, but it's like
you run into the possibility that there's a chance
he might think about it, like, oh, I came out on top. You always want to.
If Rodgers wins the MVP, I don't see why you wouldn't leave after 2 back-to-back MVPs.
But MVP isn't really like might built into.
I would say at some point the Packers got to say we screwed up and we drafted the wrong guy. In 2020, at some point you got to say that because.
Well, yeah, I mean.
You give it one more year.
I
say you give it one more year.
And see. 5th round.
What?
Brady's drafted in the 5th, right?
Brady was drafted 199th, 6th, I think, something like that. But I'm saying like Jordan Love. I think you give it one more year of development, and then if Rodgers decides to hang up, you see where it is. But.
The thing is, like, the Packers, they're sticking with Jordan Love because you have a
rookie contract too.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, in terms of drafting a quarterback, like, unless he's like a godsend, like he's going.
We haven't seen that yet. He threw how many a couple of interceptions against the Lions.
I'm saying like unless
the defense kept the Packers in that Chiefs game.
But like what I'm saying is like unless his quarterback is like so good, he's going in right away and succeeds.
But Jordan Love is not Mac Jones.
I know. But like if Jordan Love's and one thing is
or like, Joe Burrow.
But hold on, let me
But Joe
finish.
Burrow, that's not fair because Joe Burrow.
Let me finish here.
There's nothing really there.
So what I'm saying is, if you pull the plug on Love, which they're not going to do, but after like maybe year 2, he still kind of sucks. You like drafting a quarterback, you have to have at least a year of seasoning under a veteran. I mean, there's the thing of it could be a Mac Jones or a Joe Burrow, but the chances of that happening on how the Packers finish, like how just like Packers win.
Usually, the Packers win the Super Bowl. Do you think Rodgers just kind of retires?
But I'm saying like the Packers are going to finish kind of late in their first round in their draft picks. The likelihood you're going to get a Mac Jones or like a really good quarterback unless it's like, yeah, the chances you get a really good quarterback that late in the first round,
unlikely.
Let's
throw this hypothetical in there. Let's say Rodgers retires, Packers in the Super Bowl, Rodgers retires, Jordan Love is quarterback, they go 6-10. We're 4-12.
Yeah, they might be able to
get a quarterback with the 5th overall pick.
Maybe they get like
then you get Jordan Love or you have a battle with 2 quarterbacks.
Maybe they get CJ Stroud or I don't want to take a chance on any Ohio State quarterback because look how they've done. But
they completely crap the bed and go undrafted and say Max Myler ends up in Green Bay.
The Alabama guy, he has one more year and he's probably gonna go to the draft next year. Not this year, but
yeah, true.
Year after. But anyway, so to the other games,
Bills and Chiefs is the last game. This is such a tough. What's the over under? This is one of them that could be
54.5.
54.5. 38-35.
I'm gonna go off the board here.
I'm gonna go Chiefs.
I so want Buffalo.
Just because go Kumaro.
Not even that. I have a family friend who's from Buffalo. I don't name drop him, but he used to be he's the brother of the sportscaster, used to be on ABC 7 Chicago. But he's a huge Bills fan. I'll just send you the video. He did like Bills Mafia. He got on a ladder, and the grunt he makes is a and then he goes on the table, and he goes, "Let's go Buffalo!" It's like in the middle of the night doing it, but I think I mean, I don't know. I'm going to say.
I feel like 41-38 is too high.
I'm going to say 38-35.
Okay, so we're both going to say the same score.
I just think that a team getting 28 points is too low.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I don't think it's going to be like a 9-point differential. It's going to be a really close game.
I'm going to differentiate the score, and I'm going to say 41-38. Even though I think that's way too high.
It's not one of those. How do you get 41 points? You miss a field goal,
or you hit 2 field goals.
Yeah,
and scored 5 touchdowns.
Yeah. But I mean, this is such a close game. The spread is 1.5.
Yeah.
That's why I'm stuck on it, because I'm like, it could go either way, and it's gonna be a really close game. So I'm gonna say
You said 38-35.
I'm gonna say 35-32.
Okay.
Is 32 even possible? Yeah.
35-31.
No, 35-32. Is that
Okay.
possible?
Then I'm gonna go 38-30. I'm gonna go 38-35.
35-32. Is that even possible in like football?
What?
You get 32 points. Oh, you missed. I guess you get
I don't know.
points every time you miss. Actually, I'm gonna change it to something that is possible. That's not requiring you to miss every field goal to get to 32.
Now I'm going back to 41-38. I'm giving you your 38-35.
Yeah, I'll just go back to that because that's more.
I wanted to differentiate it. So
Yeah,
if somebody's higher, then somebody else gets the point.
I'm gonna take the Bungalow Bills.
You're gonna take the Bills?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bills.
Ooh. All right. So you got 3 teams that start with a B.
No, I didn't even know that.
Bills, Bucks, Bengals.
All
right. So
that's 1 of 3 or 4. Are we doing the? Yeah, we'll do that next week.
Yeah, we'll pick the NFC Championship, AFC Championship, and maybe the Pro Bowl. But who cares about the Pro Bowl?
Pro Bowl is literally like.
How many points get scored in the Pro Bowl?
The Pro Bowl is so stupid. I forget it's on. I'm like, oh, Pro Bowl happened.
Pass interference. There are at the greatest highlight of.
Is one of these games a Nickelodeon game? Are they doing that again?
I don't think so. I don't think so. That would be great if they did that for like every round and have the Super Bowl. Because then there's always the clip of some dude swearing, and it's like it gets on Nickelodeon, and they don't.
And the kids are like, "Well, my mama said not to say that, or I'm gonna get some soap in my mouth."
That's what the broadcaster should say in that situation.
There's one like meme I saw that says, "You know you screwed up when you get a penalty, and this MF has to say what the penalty is." It's like a little kid going, "That's holding," and they have some weird like childish like explanation of what the hell holding is.
Yeah.
But like the 5-year-old's like, "What's holding?" Well, holding is when you hug someone for too long and they're trying to catch the ball. Holding 10 yards.
Or you're trying to prevent somebody from getting the quarterback. Yeah. Or whatever. Yeah.
And
they should do that for one of the games, or just have like it is with the NCAA tournament, where it's like you have that like you know how the NCAA tournament, when it kind of gets deep during the playoffs, and they have like the early tournament where it's like, oh, you have the Wisconsin stream.
Oh yeah. Well,
that would be interesting
for the championship. They do that for football, and so you'll have the radio and like the local like where the TV for they'll queue up the radio with the video.
Or they have like more of a coach's one. Like you could have one that's like a coach's thing, one that's Nickelodeon, one that's Eli and Peyton.
Oh, if they do, Eli and Peyton's hilarious. Like
that's just officials and just be like,
well, Eli.
I don't know if that would be a smart idea, but
Peyton would be like, "God damn it, Eli! I told you not to do that." And Eli's like, "Well, you did lose."
Oh, I'm gonna send it over.
Damn, I gotta
send it to Peyton. I'm gonna send it to Peyton. Oh, and Peyton goes, I ain't got shit.
Eli's practicing his golf swing. He's like, the game's going on, and here, ping. He's like, "Oh, hold on, Snoop Dogg." Eli is practicing his golf swing, and then Snoop Dogg's like, "All right, for shizzle, yeah."
Or it ends up being like you have a Fox broadcast, and you have like Skip Bayless.
They had Dwayne Johnson. On
it'd be funny if you had like on the Fox broadcast, you got
Joe Buck.
Like if you had like the talking heads analyze like
what?
talk about the game. Like you have Skip and
Oh,
Shannon, or you have Stephen A. and
Steve-
Max,
Stephen A. and Swagoo.
whatever.
um,
And the worst case scenario is it's Booger McFarland.
Booger, just Booger, just Booger.
Just Booger.
Booger.
Adam Schefter and Chris Mortensen.
Booger and
NFL insiders just for a
Booger
whole
and
entire
Steve
broadcast.
Levy combined. Well, Booger, I think he should have done this. Well, I don't know, Steve. Steve, I gave it to Booger, but well, you got this little circle here. This is, and you got a big oval here for the yeah.
Draws a dick on the screen.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I said the last thing of this was gonna be like sports movies.
Yeah. So
football, like what do you kind of consider your favorite? I hate saying this, but I do have a DVD of Rudy and I need to kind of put it in.
The Rudy's stupid. I'm not saying the movie's stupid. The actual guy is stupid.
Yeah, but people say that's such a good movie. I have a DVD of it and I still haven't put it in yet. But that's
it's a good movie, but I mean, it's a feel good, like, oh yeah, you cheer for like Notre Dame. He went from like Holy Cross and worked in an iron factory. Now he's a walk on at Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm. I would say my favorite football movie is or one of my favorite football movies would be The Replacements. For some reason, every time that's just my favorite.
I want to sound cliche, but either We Are Marshall, that one's really good.
The Game Stands Tall. Have you seen that one? It's De La Salle football team that had like a ridiculous
considered a football movie.
I don't know if that's considered. Friday Night Lights.
I think Drumline is just like it's the HBCUs, and like that's why like HBCU halftimes are
it's that one like black college football video game.
Not video game.
Pretty much.
Like Drumline is about the bands in the HBCUs.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I think that's more of a bands thing than a football. Just the
yeah, I would agree with that.
But football. I want like
Longest Yard.
What?
Longest Yard.
I was gonna say Longest Yard. Either that or
But which version? I think the Adam Sandler. I haven't seen the first version, but
one has a lot more like actors
and comedy and kind of. There's some former NFL guys in there.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool.
The funniest part of that movie is when they're getting penalized and it's like they throw the football at the referee's nut.
Oh,
my balls!
I was gonna say it's the part when he goes, "Now that's how the white man runs the football," or like,
what? Chris Berman. Waterboy's got to be up there.
Well, I'm just going to Adam Sandler movies now because those are all like there's like 2 Adam Sandler movies are about football.
Yeah,
one's about golf, one's about like.
I gotta think about like.
Yeah, I didn't realize how many sports movies he actually did. I couldn't count.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'd say Replacements. What else did I say? Replacements, Longest Yard would be in there. Draft Day was good.
Yeah.
Waterboy would be in there. Game Stands Tall is all right.
The thing is, draft day, like it's newer, so it kind of has to like mellow a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of has to get old.
How it places. It's like saying like.
What else is a good football movie?
What?
Like obviously Friday Night Lights. Oh, Remember the Titans has to be number one. That is everybody's top one.
Yeah, I just got. We Are Marshall is also good. But remember,
I gotta get to watching that too. That's sad.
I was confused between the two.
I haven't. It's like it's sad that I haven't watched We Are Marshall, The Blind Side.
The Blind Side's good too, but Blind Side again is like there's a lot of white guilt in Blind Side.
Do we count what's the one that has a series? Well, actually, Friday Night Lights has a series too, but I'm thinking of another one. In my college, some of my college roommates were like obsessed with this.
Oh, Blue Mountain State.
Yes.
The what is it? The Blue Rhinos or what are the? Blue Rhinos.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blue Mountain State. That's good too. But that's more of a series.
Yeah, but there's a movie to that. What are other football movies?
Let me look this up because I cannot.
Not another. What's that other? It's not another teen movie. Is that a football thing into it?
What?
I randomly think of some scene. I don't know. We can.
Hold on. Sorry, I just found some wacky ass report that's like, oh well, Jim Harbaugh could take the Raiders job if he's given it.
I still think they shouldn't have let go of what's his face, the guy that wrote all the thank yous.
What?
The guy that they just hired or that they had as an interim.
They haven't gotten rid of the guy.
Yeah, well, true.
And the thing is,
I'm seeing Little Giants. I'm not sure if I've seen that movie.
About the Harbaugh thing. Harbaugh literally just hired an offensive line coach and has been telling recruits he's coming back.
Ooh, that's a good movie too. Varsity Blues.
Yes.
That one's up there. That wouldn't be up there in terms of one of my favorites.
So let's move on to baseball movies because I don't know much about baseball movies.
Radio is a good movie. I don't know if you've seen that in terms of football.
Oh, that was baseball.
Invincible is another. I'd probably also put on this list of 147 movies that I'm seeing.
Okay, moving on to baseball though. Sandlot, the entire Sandlot series.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was gonna randomly say The Game Plan on the football side.
Oh, are we
movie with The Rock with Madison Pettis.
Are we on football still or baseball?
Boston Rebels, Experience the Magic.
So moving to baseball, Sandlot, the entire series, like
okay,
everyone.
Angels in the outfield.
Angels outfield. Moneyball.
Good little Whitewater reference.
What?
Not a great baseball movie, but it's still okay. Whitewater reference. Couple Whitewater references in this movie. Not really Whitewater in the movie, but
what's the movie?
Two guys. There were two guys that were. One's a play-by-play voice for Whitewater football and basketball. Another is a former Whitewater professor that I think had some sort of state senate toward a role.
Hold on, there's a football movie that I forgot. Air Bud. Wasn't Air Bud?
Yeah, that I saw that on a list on IMDb, and I was like, oh, I remember those movies. The Leave It to Beaver remake or movie has some football in it too, but
so Bad News Bears, that's also a good one.
True, that's good. But I was gonna say, so Don Wadowitz is in this one movie with the Whitewater references. Kim Hickson, I don't remember if you remember who Kim Hickson is.
No.
Former communications professor at Whitewater. He served on something with the state of Wisconsin.
I don't know.
Maybe he was the Whitewater representative with something. But the bigger those two serve as fake journalists in this movie, and then the thing that is a nice little, and people can go back to, kind of a Warhawk baseball preview episode of my interview podcast, with name drop because he's in this movie, John Vodenich, the baseball coach at Whitewater. And do you want to guess the movie?
What?
Stan Ross. He's the boss.
Is it Major League?
Not quite. Still filmed at a Milwaukee Stadium. But Major League are both 1 and 2 are great movies.
Yeah.
Bernie Mac.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what the movie is.
Mr. 3000. John Vodenich.
Oh, I was just looking at that.
John Vodenich is an Astros catcher, Whitewater baseball coach. Head baseball coach is an Astros catcher that gets
42
close-ups in this movie. If you go scout, you got to go watch your homework for the next. You got to find Mr. 3000, watch the movie in its entirety, and find Vo. He gets close-ups during the Astros parts.
42 is also a good movie.
True. Yeah, I like that one.
With Trouble with the Curve. Sorry,
okay.
Clint Eastwood.
I was gonna say about Mr. 3000. I have a DVD copy of it, and I didn't know until the some of the guys on the 24 that were still on the 2015 baseball team at Whitewater. I found out from them they kind of backed up the information. My copy of the DVD is signed by Vo. Brought it to a conference tournament game, got him to sign it because I thought it was cool he was in it. So
okay, so
he actually talks about kind of how he got kind of that role in that movie, in that podcast.
If you go into hockey movies, you don't know hockey movies.
Mighty Ducks.
But which ones?
The Disney ones?
Well, they're all the Mighty Ducks are Disney movies.
Oh,
but
Slapshot.
Yes, that is up there. Slapshot's fucking hilarious. The
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, but it's not like Slapshot.
It's not it's kind of hybrid hockey and golf.
But the thing is, Slapshot is like it's funny because it's literally everything that 1970s hockey is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you're in the minors, you're riding the buses, you gotta boost your team. And you're doing you do the pregame skate, and some guy sucker punches you, and a line brawl starts out, and the officials aren't even on the ice yet. It's like, there's a guy. A little digression here. There's a guy. The color commentary for the Detroit Red Wings is Mickey Redmond. And Mickey Redmond said there's one time he was playing in the Boston Gardens for the Red Wings against the Bruins. And when he was playing, they're trying to like somehow corral fighting. So like, if you fight a second time, you're fined like some amount of money. They were trying to get rid of line brawls. And so like, okay, if you're the sixth person on the ice, if you come off the bench to go and fight, then that one person gets fined. And so he's like, there are three, I think we called it, there are three fights, and he's like, I already fought. And so he didn't want to get fined for being the sixth person off the bench. So he threw the backup goalie onto the ice because they're like, everyone's fought. They didn't want to go on the ice. So they threw the backup on. So everyone else went on because he already had one person. they already
Yeah.
tagged the sixth person. So like, oh, as soon as the sixth person goes on, everyone else can go on because they could just put the tab on the sixth person. So they put the sixth person as the backup goalie. But Miracle on Ice is also a good one. That's the 1980 U.S. team that people forget that like it's all about beating the Russians,
Yeah.
but it's kind of funny.
Do you
like,
believe in miracles, right?
Yeah, but there's Al Michaels said, yeah, Al Michaels, yeah.
Yep.
That's the semifinals. They had to beat Finland to win gold, which they won 4-1. But it's like it's just funny of like
Everybody thinks of that.
everyone thinks, oh, that's a gold medal match.
It's
It
not.
wasn't. It wasn't. It just feels like that just because the
It's
USSR,
such an overplayed.
no, it's just the USSR was so good. I mean,
I was gonna bring up a couple too, kind of one under radar basketball movie, Double Team.
yeah.
No, that's a Disney movie, but yeah.
With Mystery Alaska, that's also a good movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
No.
It's basically.
Plus, we didn't really get to. I bring up a basketball movie. We haven't really talked basketball movies yet.
Well, hold on. Let me explain this one hockey movie. So it'll be quick. So it's basically this town in Alaska. They have like a team, and like oh no, it wasn't a team. It was they're gonna have they're gonna have the NHL have like the NHL has like Winter Classics and obscure to try to be obscure places.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, the NHL is gonna have the New York Rangers fly to Alaska to play an exhibition game against this like just a bunch of from a village in Alaska. And so they built this village builds this whole rink, and it's like from scratch, builds this outdoor rink, and the Rangers are like, we don't want to play there because they're like, if we lose to a bunch of townsmen from Alaska, look how it's like how like Whitewater sometimes plays Rutgers in gymnastics.
Yeah.
But like we don't really win against Rutgers because Rutgers is kind of better at gymnastics than us. But like
how kind of like Whitewater and wheelchair basketball plays the Division 1, Division 2 school.
Yeah, but it's like how much of an embarrassment it would be for Rutgers if they lost to Whitewater. That's like the Rangers don't want to play this team from Alaska because how much of an embarrassment would be if they lost an exhibition to a bunch of people from Alaska.
Yeah, I get it.
And it's a really good movie. It has somebody in it that Mystery Alaska. It has Russell Crowe and Burt Reynolds in it.
Okay, another sports movie with Burt Reynolds, because Burt Reynolds is in the original Longest Yard and the Adam Sandler remake.
The Goon, only the first Goon is good. The second Goon is just kind of like meh. There's Slapshot 2, which I have not seen that. I don't really want to because I think it is absolute trash, and that is probably why the reason I have never seen it. What the hell? Oh, wait a second. There's one movie. It's not a hockey movie. It's like some like I forget what it was. Hold on. I can't spell right now, but the Pittsburgh Penguins mascot was in Sudden Death,
Okay.
the 1995 action movie, where it says in which a terrorist dressed as Iceberg, the penguin, the Penguins mascot, helped take over the Pittsburgh Civic Arena, also known as Mellon Arena, which does not exist anymore, but it's called the Igloo because it looked like it was a dome.
Mm.
And former martial arts Jean-Claude Van Damme, to death in a wild kitchen brawl that included knives, a meat tenderizer, and a dishwasher. But the fact that you're dressed as the Pittsburgh mascot, it's like kind of an interesting thing. But yeah, I mean, basketball movies.
I wanna jump in here. I was gonna throw in a couple randos. Bench warmers.
Yes.
Funny as hell.
That
Dodgeball. Do we consider dodgeball a sports movie?
yeah, dodgeball. I would say semi-pro. That's always always good.
Kicking and screaming.
Kicking, yeah.
Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell,
Yeah,
another person
Will
that has
Ferrell
some
has a-
sports movies.
Talladega Nights. Talladega Nights.
Yep, that.
You have spilled my cappuccino.
Shake and bake.
Just say I like thin pancakes.
And I will not break your arm.
Don't do it. Don't, Ricky Bobby.
Sweet
my
little
arm.
infant Jesus.
Listen, break my arm, Pepe Le Pew, as you wish. He calls him Pepe Le Pew.
That was before Sacha Baron Cohen was in Borat.
What was
right?
it?
I think so.
Well, Talladega Nights is 2006.
Okay,
So,
maybe it's about the same time, but maybe I don't know which movie came out first.
Borat,
And it's like basketball movies. Begins and starts with Space Jam. Coach Carter. We'll probably think of some other ones as we go.
Okay.
Hoosiers.
Talladega Nights came before Borat by 3 months.
Okay. So it's kind of before.
Almost the same time.
So you got Hoosiers.
Hoosiers, yeah, that's a good one.
One of my favorite basketball movies is it's based off of a true story. A guy named Corey Weissman, who played Division III basketball at Gettysburg College. He suffered a stroke after his freshman year.
Oh.
And he started on his senior day. The opposing team fouled him on, basically I think on purpose to get him to the free throw line because he was an 1,000-point scorer in high school.
Oh,
it's called 1,000. It's called 1,000-to-1, and it stars David Henry from Disney Channel's Wizards of Waverly Place.
Oh.
Which also stars Selena Gomez. Or that Wizards of Waverly Place stars Selena Gomez, but just her co-star is the kind of the guy that plays Corey Weissman in the movie. Great movie. Had my cousins watch it when they stayed at my parents' house one time, and they were kind of teared up on it, but kind of liked it. So
I'm trying to think of other sports. You have golf, but golf really only has Happy Gilmore.
True.
But golf's not.
What's some other basketball movies though? I feel like there's one with Martin Lawrence that sticks out to me or something like that. I don't know if that's because isn't Coach Carter with like Samuel L. Jackson or something?
Hold on. There go.
I'm gonna have to look this up.
Okay, so why can I not think of this movie?
Nikki Lazar, name drop, always brings up love and basketball,
So-
and I got confused, stupidly confused, because I thought she meant something else.
Okay, let me look up the IMBD in this because they had to have him. So my
So that would probably be up there too, because everybody kind of raves about that love and basketball.
in
I
high
don't know if you've seen that
school-
movie.
Oh, I'm trying to look up the IMBD to see if they list this person's name. Like additional crew, no. Uh, where are your friends? Like the fill-in people. Oh,
We're talking about basketball movies, like Mike, the first one
yeah.
has to be up there. Do we dare say Space Jam 2 yet, or we need to kind of let that kind of,
And just say Space Jam 1 because again, you
because
have
Space
to count
Jam 1's obviously a better movie.
So, my in high school, my athletic trainer, for Liberty
Kind
High
of got to
School,
say Air Bud for a lot of different sports movies.
uh, in high school,
Oh, random baseball movie, Fever Pitch.
yeah. So, so in my high
Oh,
school athletic,
go ahead.
but
I was gonna say Joanna Man.
yeah, um, my high school athletic trainer, Ron Russ, he used to be. He was all of it. He was the athletic trainer for the USFL, like Chicago, where they were. Um, he was the athletic trainer for the Lions at one point, also the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
He's really good friends with whoever I don't know if still is the athletic trainer for the Packers. But it might be a former athletic trainer now. But he was in a movie like in the background of Wildcats with Goldie Hawn and Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
And ironically, so not ironically, I played so in high school my junior year. I was a statistician. That's how I know all these stats.
Yeah.
But we had to play a Chicago public school. In Lincoln is we played Lincoln Park Prep, and they all share Lane Stadium, which is the like 19. It's built like the 1920s, which is like if you look at Lane Stadium, you'll understand like it looks like it still is. The locker rooms are underneath the grandstands.
Yeah.
And but it looks like kind of like the LA Coliseum, just a high school stadium. That's where Wildcats was filmed in Lane Stadium.
We're gonna bop to the top, wipe away our inhibitions.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah, you could say High School Musical technically.
Technically, because it has some basketball. I thought of I was looking on a list of basketball movies. The Martin Lawrence movie I'm thinking of is called Rebound. And it stars Martin Lawrence, who is a basketball coach who has a little bit of an anger problem.
Wasn't there some newer movie that had like LeBron James in it?
Space Jam 2?
No. It had like Tina Fey and Tina Fey was in it.
Do we count what's the first Daddy's Home? Is that kind of has Kobe in it?
Yeah.
I don't know if you count that.
Well, I mean, it's like, is he like an extra or is he like a?
They have a part of it where they go to a Lakers thing.
I mean, it's like the same thing that you could say that Batman Dark Knight Rises is a football movie because they blow up Heinz Field.
Yeah.
I
don't know what movie you're thinking of.
some sports news. Hockey has diversity.
MLB hasn't been figured out yet.
What?
In other news, MLB has not been figured out yet.
Oh, well, yeah, that's gonna be another year. But
Will they have a play?
Boston, if you could see my TV here. Oh wait, that's Wayne Gretzky, the great one. But the Boston Bruins retired Willie O'Ree, his number.
Okay.
Willie O'Ree was the first African American player to ever play in the NHL.
Okay.
And he played. I don't know. I want to say the years because they might get it wrong.
Mhm.
But he played for the Boston Bruins. So they hung up his number in the garden. And so it was a big. It was also on the anniversary of like him getting into the NHL. And just like it's really interesting to see like how that's kind of opened the door. Like it's not like it is a color barrier thing, but there's now I'd say there's a lot of African American players, but there are players that are either African American or they are another racial category or racial or a race. And I mean, a couple of years ago, I think he's in the minors. Josh Ho-Sang was drafted by the Islanders as the first NHL player to be of Asian descent. Scott Gomez, the pride of Anchorage, Alaska. He's technically Hispanic. Oh, not technically, he is. Gomez. Let's see. I mean, there's all these Europeans. You could just name like a list. But anyway,
this is kind of running long, so
what?
This is kind of running long.
Yeah.
So we talked a lot of movies, we made our picks. Hope everybody enjoys football this week. Go Pack, go.
Hold on. What happens if there's a tie?
With what?
With one of the games. Has it ever been a playoff game that tied?
I think it would keep on going until until somebody wins.
Have another overtime?
Yeah, because there's been a playoff game that went into the double overtime between the Rams and the Panthers.
Oh, what year? Like 2000 or not 2000, but because the Panthers are a new franchise, they're like 95. I think they started in 95. Like kind of be interesting, like, what do you know? The NFL ends a playoff game in a tie. Both teams go.
Yep, 2003.
Yeah, I would say it had to be like early 2000.
Walk-off touchdown by Steve Smith.
Yeah, not surprised.
So.
Yeah.
So everybody will enjoy football this week. Go Pack, go.
Yeah. Bye.
Discount double check.
Go Lions.
Banging on the drum all day.
We're not playing.
Thanks everybody for watching. Or thanks everybody for listening. And that, so see you next time.